Mary Ellen Golcheski.
Hi. Let me see here. All right. All right. Can you all see me and hear me?
Yep.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much, City Council and the Committee of the Whole, for allowing me to share my thoughts and overall experiences today. I'm coming to you as a proud district resident, a concerned community member, but most importantly, a recovering educator from our schools. The term recovering educator kind of came to mind after I quit teaching just nearly after 8 years. My goal was to last for 10 total years. So it's kind of a little bit of an intense conversation that I'm having with you all today, but I was considered a highly effective DCPS teacher. I was also frequently asked to lead reading and literacy professional developments within my schools because I showed great results in reading growth over time in my classroom, as I actually had a background in early childhood literacy and research. So much of what I have to say today is that teaching is still a passion of mine. However, a major weight that I had felt was a concept of worth. When I say worth, I'm meaning financial worth, social worth, and most importantly, self-worth. I taught grades pre-K through second in both charter and in DCPS. Without fail, I always felt when I told folks that I was a teacher that they immediately pitied me. Why was that? Was it because they knew that despite me loving my community and my students and my entire educational friend and backgrounds, that they knew that I probably wasn't being treated fairly financially? So some of my issues that I had caused me to ultimately quit mid-year from DCPS. I felt some guilt and disappointment when I did quit, but I also felt instant relief. I realized that if you are ever in a career where you have to have an appreciation week or an appreciation day, you are probably not being respected 99% of the time in your career, which goes back to, having that weight of respect and not feeling much self-worth. But there are a few solutions that would have kept me incentivized to have stayed in the classroom, and I know that goes for other teachers. Flexible scheduling. Flexible scheduling, it kind of sounds esoteric, but let's be real. Teaching is one of the most inflexible careers that you can have in the workforce. But we do have a solution. Empower Ed even brought it up earlier about having enrichment days, where you have a 5-day school week, but one of the days is reserved to having that enrichment day, where teachers can focus on having those high-level professional developments, planning, and time for your parent-teacher conferences. And the students, depending on their grade levels, they would be able to engage in different project-based learning activities or vocational experiences and internship. And if they're the younger ones, we could be using that time to be focusing on social emotional learning with somebody that's already in the space or somebody that we could be contracting out. When I say somebody that's in the space, we need to ensure that we can actually get full-time substitute teachers, being able to offer them a full-time contract to be in our schools at every single school. Because also that supports the teachers who, if they are sick and they need to be on leave, that they have somebody that's safe, that's in the space that the students already know. Another important piece would have been that increased pay. DC is not an affordable state to live in. So while I was teaching at DCPS, I was not financially able to keep up with all the life expenses that commiserate with the cost of living in the city. In an ideal world, a teacher should be able to afford to live in the neighborhood in which they teach, as it does not only improve the morale between the teacher and the students, but it improves the overall community. I say this to say one of the biggest obstacles that we can overcome is how we choose to allocate our budgets and invest in our teachers. A recent study from Wallet Hub showed that Washington, D.C. ranked number 47 for their annual salaries, which was adjusted to the cost of living. The same study also cites that we ranked number 48 for projected teacher turnover, as in we are not retaining our teachers, and we likely will not be able to retain our teachers going into the next school year. I also wanted to speak on test scores. Finally, the constant, frequent, stressful, mandated testing is not helping anyone. The pandemic has taught us all many lessons. And overall, most of our highly regarded pedagogues agree that the frequent mandated testing is not what our students need right now. The term learning loss is not appropriate. And trying to turn it into an appropriate language from mandated testing is not supporting our students or our teachers. Our students need focused, high impact instruction. They deserve to work in those small groups that are working on the same particular goals. As a strong teacher, I would keep track of the activities that I would conduct in my small groups and have a daily exit ticket that used the data to go back and look to see how I could better support those groups. That's the effective teaching. That's what we need to be focusing on. We need to be working on the effectiveness of the teacher based on those foundational skills and making sure that we can master those foundational skills so that those students are learning and not just taking a test and not being taught to a test. Every day I miss teaching, and I keep on telling my friends and colleagues who are still in the classroom that maybe I'll see them in a few years. But honestly, I want to see some action first. By listening to what teachers and a recovering educator like myself are saying, it's one step, but acting and ensuring that we can make those changes to keep highly effective and qualified teachers is what will make a difference to improve our schools. Once again, thank you for your time and consideration and appreciation for the effort of supporting our teachers, students, and our education stakeholders.
Thank you.